Hi, welcome to Seymour's World. I'm Seymour Kazirmirski. Thank you for joining us today. Last week's segment on our review of 2014 brought a lot of emails, a lot of questions. We are going to repeat that segment, but instead of doing the annual review of 2014, we're going to take the items that Jay and I talked about, and we're going to project them into 2015 and see what will happen in our opinion about the key items of 2014. So I hope you stay tuned for next week. But this week is going to be a laugh because we are going to be celebrating Hanukkah, or Chanukah, depending on how you want to say it and how you want to spell it. And to help me celebrate Hanukkah, we have invited our cantor from Temple Emanu-El, Ken Aronowitz.
Great to be with you.
Ken, it is such a pleasure. I've known you for at least, 12, 15 years?
At least. Seems like forever.
And you actually bat mitzvahed my daughter, and you helped my son in his bar mitzvah, so we go back a long way.
Yes.
But mostly, everybody knows you as Mr. A. Mr. A is your name because you are the guitar wizard, you are the piano magnificent, you are the person who entertains so beautifully that many people come to Temple Emanu-El, not just for the religious services, but for your musical prowess.
Well, thank you very much. That was lovely words. Thank you.
They are absolutely true.
I appreciate that.
Besides being the cantorial soloist, did I say that correctly?
Yes, you got it.
You are going to be the official rabbi next year.
Yes.
And that is in July?
July of 2015. I'm now actually the spiritual leader. I do work of rabbi and cantor, sort of a one-man show.
And then, and then as of July, you will be the rabbi.
I'll be Rabbi Ken Aronowitz.
Oh wow, that is terrific. Do we have to pay more homage to you, or are you the same guy?
More homage and more something. I don't know what it is.
We'll talk to the committee about that, won't we?
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Now, you have two children.
Yes, I do.
And were they born here in Hawaii?
Yes, they're both. They are actually brother and sister from Oahu. My son became bar mitzvah this past August. Did a fantastic job, and my daughter has a couple of years. She's 10 years old, so she has a couple of years to go.
Where did you go to school? Where's your education?
Oh, I graduated with a bachelor's in business administration from Hofstra University on Long Island. Being from New York's area, it's very convenient. With a concentration in marketing of all things. So this is quite a...
Where does the rabbi thing come
I know.
into
Well,
all
you
this?
have to market yourself, you know.
I guess
you have to market God, in a sense, to people and your congregation. And so I think the business education I received has helped me a great deal.
You know, the temple itself, I've been a member for many, many years. It is a melting pot, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, we're actually the only Union for Reform Judaism Reform congregation in Hawaii. And we're very welcoming. We say we pride ourselves on being the place where Shaloha, where the spirit of Shaloha lives, which is our motto. And so we are a gathering place for members of the Jewish community who live their Judaism in a variety of ways, and their relationship with God in a variety of ways. And so that's why we are very accessible.
I always say that when you come to a temple service, you don't see as many Caucasians as you would expect because you see so many other races.
Yes.
And is that because of the marriage or the military?
My children are Chinese, Japanese, Jewish.
Isn't that amazing?
And my mother couldn't be more proud.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful. And is it the same for the temple? The temple
it is. The temple, it's really, exactly. I mean, coming from New York, it's quite a different look, but we're all members of the Jewish community. And
Temple Emanu-El has a school. My children attended the school. Tell us a little bit about it.
We have a terrific Gan Yerushalayim preschool. Ms. Momi Martinez is our fantastic director. They became nationally accredited this past year. They have a 40, 50 children that I get to spend some time with each week, and they do a magnificent job. My children also are proud graduates. We have our School of Jewish Studies for children from ages kindergarten through middle school that meets on Sunday mornings, and a Hebrew program on Wednesday afternoons with Beatrice Hamer as our director, with a wonderful staff again of teachers that expose our students to many aspects of what it is to be Jewish and how to live a Jewish life.
You know what amazes me, Ken, is there are many non-Jewish kids who go to the Gan.
Yes.
Aren't there as many Jews as non-Jews? Or
at some time it was a very actually small percentage of Jewish families. Now it's just, I think it's slightly over half are Jewish families of the students that go there. But the non-Jewish families come and tell me, because we're having our latke luncheon on Friday, and they tell me how grateful they are for learning about Judaism. And their kids sing, I had a little dreidel as much, if not more, than their, the Jewish kids in the school.
I find that the preschool, when our kids were there, and I think it's the same, it's not all about Judaism. It's
Right.
about education,
Right.
social activities
Yes.
between kids. I find Alana's best friend, Aliyah,
Right.
believe it or not, says that she had the best time at Gan Yerushalayim.
Yes.
And it was one of the best educational times of her life, rather than, going to middle school and all that sort of
Right.
stuff. She loved that
Right,
time.
because the staff is so wonderful about preparing not only the children for entering kindergarten, whether it's private school or public school, but as you said, socialization, how to play together, how to work together, what happens when there's conflict that arises. The teachers do a magnificent job of educating the children and teaching them, and they go on to do incredible things, as is evidenced by your children, my children.
I think it's terrific, and I encourage people, all of you out there who do have kids who live in Hawaii, if you want to go to Temple Emanu-El and have a look at Gan Yerushalayim, they operate every morning, right? They're there.
Yes, they do, Monday through Friday.
Yeah,
They're there.
so you can actually be there and get a feeling of what the temple is all about from the educational side.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the temple in
Right,
itself.
exactly.
And you teach at the Gan as well, don't
Yes,
you?
I get to spend every Shabbat, every Friday morning as we get ready to wind down our week, and we do our Shabbat table blessings together, and we also celebrate holidays, Hanukkah included, throughout the year, and it's the highlight of my week. I mean, it's just the kids are just so wonderful, and they're a very honest audience, because if you're not keeping their attention, they let you know about it.
Don't you love that, though?
I
think
do.
great.
It's a challenge for me that I relish. I really enjoy it.
Well, let's talk about Hanukkah,
Yes,
because that's what
indeed.
we're here
That's
for.
what I would-
Now, is this a Jewish Christmas? What is Hanukkah? Explain it.
In the sense that it's a minor festival holiday. It's not Torah-based, although there's a book of Maccabees, which goes into the Hanukkah story, as well as mentioned in the Talmud. But it's gained prominence because, yes, Christmas is upon us almost, and Jewish families, kids want to have something to look forward to, and so we celebrate Hanukkah beginning tonight.
Right, tonight is the first
Tonight
night
is
of
the first
Hanukkah,
candle, yes.
and we are going to light the first candle
Yes,
on
we
this
are.
show, which
Yes.
will be really wonderful. Now, Hanukkah itself, as a holiday for the Jewish people, it's a festival holiday. It's
Yes.
a wonderful holiday. I know my kids loved it because they always associated Hanukkah with the presents
Right.
that they would get, right?
Right,
And
right.
if the Christian faith and the Catholic faith and all of those other faiths can have presents, they're going to have 8 presents.
Exactly. They get Christmas is one morning of presents. Hanukkah is 8 nights of presents.
Right, and my kids, of course, were always fighting for, they wanted 8 nights of presents, but each night has to be a magnificent present.
Ah.
We started off in our family with little presents,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
but that's not how it ended, unfortunately, because the kids got the better of us. But it's a terrific holiday. So the gist of the holiday, can you explain it in
Sure.
a few short
There's
words?
actually 2 different stories. In the Talmud, it talks about the miracle that occurred at the temple in Jerusalem, way back when in BCE, 168 BCE. The Maccabees were resisting King Antiochus and the Syrian Greeks, who were making it very difficult for Jews to live as Jews, going so far as to outlaw Brit Milas, or ritual circumcision. So they led a resistance against that, and they took back the temple, cleaned it up because it was a mess. It wasn't used for religious purposes anymore, and they rededicated. Hanukkah meaning dedication. They rededicated the temple. But in any Jewish temple or synagogue, there's a ner tamid, an eternal light that burns over the ark. And in that day, it was burning with oil, but there was no oil to be found until they found one little jar of oil that was still sealed by the high priest. And they thought, oh, maybe it'll last for one night. But it didn't last for one night. It lasted for 8 days and nights. And so that's the miracle of Hanukkah, which we talk about with these dreidels, which you and I brought today. There are 4 letters, a letter on each side, which stand for the phrase Nes Gadol Hayasham, that a great miracle the miracle of the Ner Tamid, happened there. And so we celebrate that. The book of the Maccabees talks about, again, the victory of the Maccabees over the greater forces of King Antiochus as well. And that was miraculous as well. But the prophet Zechariah put it all in perspective for the rabbis. He said that not by power, not by might did this happen, but by spirit, by my spirit, by the Spirit of God was this victory able to be achieved. And so that's what we give thanks for, the miracles that happen and the miracles that still happen today.
It's wonderful.
It is a miraculous time.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And this is called the menorah.
This is actually a Chanukah menorah because in the temple there was a menorah which had 7 branches. This has 8 candles plus a helper candle. So a Chanukiah or Chanukah menorah would be.
And each night we light one candle to celebrate the 8 nights of Hanukkah.
Exactly.
And so this candle we call the shamus, I believe.
Yes, the helper.
The helper candle, and that's the candle that we normally use.
Right.
And in most of our homes, by the way, we have regular menorahs that have real candles that we light, but just in case we didn't want this place to burn up, because I would definitely, Jay is an attorney, he would make sure that I would have nothing left if I burned up his studio.
I don't want that happening.
So we're gonna use the electric.
We'll be safe.
Now tell us about the gelt.
Sure, yes. We have some wonderful Hanukkah gelt here. Some milk chocolate, dark chocolate. There was a custom back in the day of children bringing money to their teacher. And also they sort of got some in the process also. And so that translated into what's called Hanukkah gelt, these coins made out of chocolate. And it goes well with dreidel games because what we're playing for is who can win the most gelt.
And in our preface to the show, by the way, that was sent out to all of you, we talked about gambling on the show. So I have to tell you that we have spoken to Keith Kaneshiro, our Attorney General, and I cleared the idea that we could do a little gambling in the second segment.
Very nice.
So if you want to watch us gamble, we'll have a guest coming to our aid, and we will gamble away all this gelt and teach you guys how to do it. I have to say we had a wonderful experience Saturday night at our house. We had 150 people at our Hanukkah party at our house, and I saw your children playing with the gelt, and I saw all of our friends who were not Jewish, their kids were playing dreidel and gelt. It's a real it's an amazing force when you see kids being able to play together on a simple game like this. So what do you do with this thing? Let's see.
We have the dreidel here, and we're gonna spin it and see what letter it lands on. And whoa, there we go.
That one went. That's okay. Let's try this one.
There we go. The rule is you have to keep it on the table, just like that. And so I have the letter Hey here, which means I would win half of what's in the pot, what's in the middle.
Right, and I have the letter.
Oh, looks like you have it's a fancy dreidel here. Is that a nun or a gimel? Yeah, it's a nun.
Yes.
Which means, unfortunately,
I get nothing. Right.
Yes.
So happens that's exactly what happened to me on Saturday. I ended up with nothing. But we'll do some gambling.
I can't wait.
In the second segment, which I think will be fun.
So
the Hanukkah Hanukkah is celebrated by all Jews around the world the same way. Basically, it's not a religious. It's a religious.
Well, it's religious, but there's no prohibition against work. It's not like a Yom Kippur day or something of that magnitude. But it's it's a festival of light. I mean, it's amazing that the darkest time of the year, when there's the most darkness, the least amount of light, we have what we call Chag Urim, the festival, the holiday of lights, and we bring light into the world, which is a marvelous thing to do.
It's to me the happiest holiday we have.
Yes.
Next to Passover, which I also love, by the way, because of the food.
Right.
Now there's certain foods that are associated with Hanukkah.
Yes, because the light that was lit in the temple was run on oil. So it's incumbent on us to remember that by eating oily foods, namely latkes.
And that's why we believe the cholesterol level of most Jews is probably too high after Hanukkah, because we all eat lots of latkes for over 8 days.
Yes, fried potato pancakes. And in Israel, the custom has come to America of eating jelly donuts, sufganiyot also, with the oil. So yes, not a good thing that your doctor wants you to eat too much.
I had my checkup last week.
You're good.
So I'm good.
You're clear to go. Good. I feel better.
I have to say that at the party, that we had, there was not that many Jewish people there, and a lot of our friends and relatives and neighbors, and a lot of Make 'em Smile musicians came.
Yes,
and they entertained us, which was wonderful. And they tasted their first matzo balls and their first latkes. And the most interesting thing was when one of the guys, and I don't know if all of you know what a matzo ball is, but a matzo ball, Sue makes the matzo balls, and she made 300 of them for our party. And when she made these matzo balls, it's made in a chicken soup, and it's absolutely delicious. And when she made the matzo balls, we served them in a bowl with carrots and celery and chicken. And it's a wonderful, delicious thing. And I forgot to introduce it properly to some of the musicians. And what they did is they took the potato latke and they put it underneath the matzo ball, thinking like it was a base for the matzo ball. I had to make them understand that that's not exactly.
No, it's not a Jewish malasada,
no,
but actually.
Not a Jewish malasada. That's absolutely
cute.
right.
But it is called matzo ball soup is the Jewish penicillin, so I was really grateful because in this season of Hanukkah, I want to stay healthy, so thank you
don't know
guys.
how many people call Sue Dr. Sue.
Yes.
Because her chicken soup, we even have some of the entertainers who we know very well, who we send the soup home with because they find that didn't you get it?
Yes, we took it's
some
the
home
best
too,
tasting
didn't you?
medicine I've ever come across.
There you
You
go.
have to
That
try
is Sue's. Oops.
Oh, wow.
We lost the
wow,
count.
look at that. We're already
Yeah,
left
be
there.
careful. Well, we definitely had a wonderful time.
Well, as did we. It was
terrific.
a wonderful gathering. And that's the beauty of Hanukkah. It's not a thing where you have to go to temple or synagogue. It's family. It's home. It's gathering together, which is it's a wonderful gift in itself.
We had, just before we take our first break, Ken, I have to say that most people say that the Hanukkah party at the Kazirmirskis is the beginning of the holiday season. And that's so funny for the non-Jewish people to say that the Hanukkah party is the holiday of
Well, you're
the
making memories for them, just like for your family.
Yeah, it was terrific.
Great.
Ken, we have to take a short break. We're going to be back in a moment. I'm Seymour Kazirmirski at Seymour's World on ThinkTech Hawaii.
Okay, I'm Jay Fidel, that's Ray Starling. We co-host a show called Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. It's really interesting. You know, Ray has a way of unzipping these guys. He asks them these questions and all this stuff tumbles out, and we find out stuff we would never know about without Ray's questions. Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome, Jay. I'm very pleased to be your Ed McMahon every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Here on the internet, so you can join us and see what's happening in the energy world, and there is a lot going on. So join us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, come around, be energized right here on ThinkTech. Aloha.
Hi, welcome back to Seymour's World. I'm Seymour Kazirmirski. You see this smile on my face? It's because I love to gamble. And we are going after some gelt, and this is called gelt that's here in front of us. And as you can see, it's a big pot of big money. These are pure gold coins worth about, maybe $1,000 each. And the silver coins, let's make them worth $500 each. Right. And these little guys will be worth $200 each. We have a special guest today.
Hi.
Sachi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Sachi is joining us because she has won the tournament of champions in playing the dreidel game. So, Sachi, you have a lot to live up to. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You're also a proud graduate of our religious school, School of Jewish Studies. You have to do well.
I have to show my true colors.
That's right, to represent.
Right, you were in Alana's
Yeah,
class.
I remember Alana.
Yes, of course you
Yeah,
do. Okay,
she's great.
so here we go, everybody. So,
Okay.
Ken, why don't we review the rules one more
Okay,
time?
so we have 4 sides to our dreidel, 4
Right.
different letters. If you land on the
Thank
letter
you.
nun, you get nothing. If you land on the letter shin, if you had something, you'd have to put 1 piece of gelt in. If you land on hay, you win half of what's there. And if you get gimel, you take it all.
So Gimel is a
Okay.
big
Yes.
winner.
Gimel's going to get my
Gimel.
kids' college fund paid for today.
Okay,
so
well,
let's
I don't
see
know.
what we
Let's
do,
see.
okay?
We've got
Come on.
here, let me just make a quick count. We have $63,000
Wow.
in this pot. So, ladies first, go ahead.
Oh, why, thank you.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. It's been a while.
Okay.
And there we
nice.
go, there we go, there we
Come
go.
on,
It's
come on,
spinning.
what
Let's
is
see
it?
what it comes out to.
Yay. Oh, it's a hay.
Hey.
half
You
the
take
pot.
31,000 or
$31,000, let me
$200, whatever
separate
it
it out.
is. You get
I will separate it out exactly.
Yeah.
There we go. 31,000 is for her. You're next, Ken. Go
All
ahead.
right,
This
here
is
we
so
go. Here we go.
fun.
Here we
No
go.
pressure. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Go, Ken.
All right, come on.
Now, you can't get her money, right?
No, I can't. No,
You
it's
can only get what's
only what's
left
in
in
the
the
pot. Only what's in the middle. Here we go. And it's a hay. Okay, I get
So
it.
you get half the
That's
pot.
still better. Then let's see. I'm going to take.
Boy, this doesn't leave a lot for me,
No, it
does
doesn't.
it?
So,
Okay.
all right, here we go.
There we go. But I want you to know that this is a very special dreidel. Very, very special. But I'm going to change the dreidel so
Uh-oh.
nobody accuses me of cheating.
Ah,
and I'm
there we
going to
go.
use the big
Oh.
dreidel.
Down to big.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go
Here we
big.
go.
There we go. And look at that. It's a gimel.
And what does that mean?
That means you get it all.
I get it all.
Yay.
Well, now, isn't that terrific?
That's great.
So this is how our kids play this
Yeah.
game, and they love it. It's such a simple game,
Yes.
and they get to understand the 4 letters that
Right.
are in the game.
Exactly.
And I mean, everybody has so much fun.
It is, and it's good for adults too. I've seen adults
Well,
get.
as you can see, we each
Yeah.
won pretty well.
I think we did all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Well, I
did.
think you got enough money to retire.
I'm good.
And
I'm
you got
good.
enough money for
I'm
your
good to
college.
go. I'm good. Yeah,
All
my
right, so
kids are taken
we're in
care of.
very good shape. Ken, let's talk a little bit more about
Yes.
some of the stuff that you do at Temple. And we have a
Sure.
photograph, I think, of a very important event.
Oh, yes.
That's you and your wife.
Oh, that's yes. That's my better half.
And she is from Hawaii, you said?
She moved here in 1967. My father-in-law, Dr. Milton Diamond, was on the first faculty of the medical school at University of Hawaii at Manoa, and has been here ever since.
And you do a lot of interfaith service.
Yes, we
Tell us about that.
were honored. Temple Emanu-El was to host the 53rd annual Nu'uanu Valley Thanksgiving Week Interfaith Service, longest running interfaith service on Oahu. And we had actually a crowd of close to 400 people. It was amazing, from 9 different congregations. And the theme of this year's service was Feeding the Hope. And we supported the good works of Hale Kipa in helping children make the transition from the foster system to adulthood. And it was just such a rewarding experience. And so I think you have a picture of myself helping to lead the
I
MC
think
that
so.
service.
I'm not sure if it's there, but,
Oh,
but
okay,
if it
but that
is,
was-
we
you'll
will
get
pick
it.
it up.
Okay, but
I
that was
want
one.
people to understand
Yes.
the prayers
Okay.
that you do for the menorah and
Sure.
the songs that go with them.
Sure.
So if we could get your guitar.
Yes, I will do that right now. Let's see if I can get over here. Whoops. Yeah, I need to get Sachi back here.
Yeah, maybe Sachi can do it for you.
I'm sorry,
Hold on one
Sachi. I'll
second.
put you to work again.
Hold on. There we go.
That's it. Because you don't just spin a mean dreidel,
Okay.
but you're going to do something.
Well, here, the menorah itself, Ken,
Yes.
there are certain things that you do right off the bat with the menorah,
Yes.
right? Why don't you tell us a
You
little
would
bit about
light the helper, the shamas.
May I do that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That would be great. And you would say the blessing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. God.
And we used to sing that.
Yes.
So why don't we do that?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. And one more. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Which we praise God who performed miracles for our ancestors in this season.
And then?
And then you're going to light the first candle, give you the
And
honor.
we usually have our youngest child do that.
Ah, yes,
Right?
we do
That-
too.
that's-
Yes,
yeah, that's what we
but
do.
you can
And you
fill
start
in.
from left to right?
You go, yes. You set them up from the right to the left.
Okay.
Yes, and each night you would light an additional candle until you get to the 8th night. So we increase the amount of light, and then we would sing something like maybe like this. Oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning bright. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're going to sing that a little bit on Friday night.
Can you do a couple more songs?
Yes, I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play.
Wow. And you know, what was so wonderful?
Thank you, thank you.
Everybody over here.
Oh, Sachi was just going to town.
All
It was
of
great
the
to
crew,
watch.
the crew is
yeah.
going nuts here. It's really wonderful. And we all know that song.
Yes, that's the thing.
Everybody knows the dreidel song, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Give us another one.
I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age, a hero or sage arose to our aid. Hark, in days of yore in Israel's ancient land, brave Maccabeus led a faithful band. But now all Israel must as one arise, redeem itself through deed and sacrifice. Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age, a hero or sage arose to our aid. So Hanukkah is a time for hope, and that's such an important part of being Jewish, is having hope.
I think everybody recognizes, although we don't have a professional sound system, Ken, you obviously love playing music.
Oh,
you
I
obviously love being a part of what the temple is all about.
Yes, I feel very blessed to get to do what I get to do. And to
Now, you know, for people who don't really know the Jewish religion a lot, Temple Emanu-El is Reform.
Yes.
And there are two other.
yes,
Go ahead.
there's
why don't you
a conservative Chavurah, conservative congregation that's a bit more traditional in practice. There's also Chabad of Hawaii, which is in the Orthodox world the most traditional group within Judaism. We also have the distinction of having a Aloha Jewish chapel, one of the few Jewish military chapels around.
I have
Out
spoken
of Pearl
there.
Harbor.
about
Yes,
that.
indeed. You are a wonderful speaker for Yom HaShoah. So we are blessed in the middle of the Pacific Ocean to have choices for people to go and to pray and be part of a place where they feel comfortable in expressing their faith, their Judaism.
It's a wonderful place to be.
It is.
When you just feel that you need to be in a special place at a special time.
Yes.
And you don't have to be Jewish to go into a temple.
No,
Just like
we-
a church, you don't have to be
We have
Christian to go to a church.
several people not Jewish who come very regularly on Friday nights for our Sabbath or Shabbat service because they feel a connection to what's going on. Maybe it's the music, as you said. Maybe it's the words of our service. But there's something that attracts them as well.
I think there's a connection to God.
Yes.
You know, there's a connection to God that you may feel in a church, in a temple.
Right.
It doesn't have to be Temple Emanu-El.
No, not at
but
all.
for me, I find that there are certain times where I need to be there because I need to be in the presence of
Right.
God.
Well, also the presence of a community, because community, the wonderful thing about community is it's great coming together at happy times like this, like we're going to gather Friday night for Hanukkah at Temple, but when someone loses a loved one, you know, I tell especially younger people who are so technologically based now that, you know, Facebook is not really going to do it for you when you need comfort. Human interaction is going to be the thing that's going to help you through a difficult time, or to celebrate a really wonderful event with someone, and that's the beauty of community, and that's what we strive to be about.
Can most of the people know you from Temple Emanu-El? But
Right.
you're such a gifted musician.
Ah.
Where does that come from? I
You
mean,
know,
not just guitar, but
yeah, yeah.
piano and music writing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've studied voice. I studied with two magnificent teachers here I have for years, Neva Rego and Betty Grierson, and it's, and I sing non-Jewish music there too. It's nice to have a little change of pace. I've sung with the chorus at Hawaii Opera Theater for several productions. Music is just a thing that spoke to me from a very early age. When I was growing up in a synagogue in Westchester County in New York, I would get very fearful when they opened up the book and it was the these and the thous, and I didn't know what was going on. But when you sang, it spoke to me, and I think it speaks to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it does too. I find I'm just an amateur musician. Nothing
no,
like you
you're
are.
quite good. Don't.
No. But it's wonderful to be able to sit at the piano and have people around me that can sing. It just gives it makes everybody feel good, and I think feeling good is what we need in these times, right?
And if anybody knows the healing power of music, it is Seymour Kazirmirski. I mean, the work that you do with the various hospitals make them smile. And that was evidenced by the wonderful musicians at the party the other night.
Yeah, that was pretty terrific. That was really amazing. We have to take another break, and then we will come back. I'm Seymour Kazirmirski with our guest Ken Aronowitz from Temple Emanu-El, our cantor, our soon-to-be rabbi, and most important, a wonderful, wonderful friend. Be back in a minute.
Aloha, I'm Hunter Hevelin, host of Sustainable Hawaii here at ThinkTech Hawaii. You can tune in every week on Thursday at 2 p.m. to see interviews with sustainability professionals from around the state and even further abroad, learning about activities with water management, food security, waste management, and a whole host of other fascinating opportunities to get engaged with making a greener island. So if you're interested in making the transition from consuming individuals to communities of producers, check us out every Thursday. Aloha.
Hi, welcome back to Seymour's World. I'm Seymour Kazirmirski at ThinkTech Hawaii. Our guest today is Ken Aronowitz, our cantor and soon-to-be rabbi at Temple Emanu-El here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Those of you who live in Calgary or Montreal or Amsterdam or wherever you watch the show from, this is one of my favorite times of the year, is Hanukkah. But it's also something that we have to understand is a worldwide tradition that is very, very close to Christmas. And I find that, Ken, when we talk about Christmas and we talk about Hanukkah, how do the kids feel? How do the Jewish kids feel when there's so much Christmas? I mean, compared to Hanukkah, Christmas is like a zillion times bigger in marketing and all that stuff.
Right.
How do you handle it with the kids?
Well, so I had a bar mitzvah student once ask me about that, about the Christmas lights downtown every year, and is it okay if I go?
Yeah,
very innocent question. And I said, of course it's okay. It's not only a religious holiday, it's a national holiday. It's something that's part of our American culture. It's a beautiful sight downtown, all the lights. I was there the other night driving around, admiring all the different colors and designs.
I love it, Ken.
I do too. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, Sue and I drive around neighborhoods looking at what people have done to their lives. A matter of fact, a great story where I was brought up in Chanukah. We lived across from the temple, and that temple was an Orthodox temple. And my mother decided, very, very strong-willed woman, decided that she's going to put lights on the cedar trees. We had cedar trees in the front. And there was no tree or anything, just lights all over. And boy, did she get it from the rabbi, because there was the idea that you shouldn't be putting lights on. But she insisted it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's just a festival. And since we have a festival of lights in the Menorah, she had a great answer to him, and he left her alone after that, which was wonderful.
And one thing we didn't mention, after you light your Hanukkah menorah, where are you supposed to put it? In the window for everyone to see, just like the neighbors who have the magnificent light displays at Christmas time. So I think it's wonderful, and maybe I have a different relationship than my neighbor who goes to church, but that's okay. It's a beautiful time of year, and everyone hopefully is in good spirits because of it.
I think Hanukkah and Christmas could be a model of working together. Because each side respects and loves. I mean, look at all the people who came to the party who were not Jewish, Saturday night. They all love it. They realize that it's not so much about a religious holiday. It's more about peace, love, happiness, just being together.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
I take it, when the Maccabees dedicated the temple, I take it as they were dedicating themselves once again to their faith. Just as our Christian neighbors who celebrate Christmas and the birth of Jesus, that's their dedication to their faith, which I think is a wonderful thing. However, in whatever form you relate to the greater presence.
Now, how can we make that the basis of peace between all of these factions that we have fighting with each other?
Right.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about the Palestinians and the Jewish people.
Right.
I'm talking about around the world what's
Right.
happening with everything
Yes.
that's going on. If we could learn, we could do so much more.
Right.
I have to tell you, we're doing two things here in Hawaii that I'm getting involved with. One is we're bringing in children from Palestine, from Israel,
Yes.
and children from the Arab world, and they're going to join the ukulele festival in
Yes.
July, which
Oh.
Roy Sakuma is putting on, and they're going to play together.
That's
Israelis are going to be playing with Palestinian kids together. And that's peace. That's how you build on. It's where you get to understand each other so much better than letting the politicians try to ruin it.
Well, you made me very happy and very sad because my son played in the festival the last couple of years, but I'll be away that month, so I
Oh
won't be
my
able to
gosh,
be
we're
there.
gonna miss him.
So you're gonna
Yes,
have to
yeah.
you're gonna have to tape it
Yeah.
for me or something.
We're also doing something else which is wonderful. In September 2nd, where we celebrate the 70th anniversary of the peace accord signed on the Missouri, we're bringing in 6 children from Japan and 6 children from Hawaii, and they're going to be playing ukulele together to talk about looking forward instead of remembering what September 2nd was as a victory.
Right.
Forget it. It's
Right.
remembering that it's the beginning of peace
Right.
between Japan and America.
And when you pick up an ukulele, you can't pick up a gun or a bomb.
You're
and that's
right.
a great thing.
You're right.
That's a piece. That's a step in the right direction.
I know. Now, Ken, I had a zillion questions for you, and I haven't even started. So let's
Okay,
start with the
talk
first
fast,
one. How do people contact you?
They can get to me through Temple Emanu-El, our office, shaloha.com.
Shaloha.
H-A-L-O-H-A. Shalom and aloha put together. Shaloha.com is our website. Please go to that to get in touch with me. Or from our office number, 595-7521. Is 595-7521. Our wonderful executive director, Richard Field, will help you get to the right person, me or anybody else.
Good. Now, you do volunteer work as well, I know. You do lots of other things. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, well, goodness. I mean, I volunteer a lot of time connected with Temple. We participate in Family Promise. We help families who are transitioning from homelessness to a home of their own. So I have spent nights sleeping over at Temple and while the families sleep in our classrooms converted into bedrooms, which is wonderful. I'm a big supporter of the Hawaii Food Bank because the need is as great as ever. So we support that with canned goods, with monetary donations, we have institution Jewish Community Services, which is our way of trying to help those in the community, within the Jewish community and non-Jewish community in need.
You have Meals on Wheels as well?
We're trying, yes.
Is that coming back? Or?
We're looking to volunteer our members on Christmas Day to help with the need for that. My father, blessed memory, that was his practice back in New York. So I'm trying to make that part of his legacy.
Wonderful. So it's the temple and yourself are not just about Jewish causes, it's about people.
Well, a hallmark of Judaism is what we call tikkun olam, trying to fix the broken places in the world. And there, as you pointed out, there are sure a number of them that need fixing.
Tell us, we always ask our guests, because it's a hidden question, your best experience and your worst experience.
Wow. Well, I'm going to start. My worst experience first. My wife and I married later in life, and we couldn't have children the old-fashioned way, so we tried IVF, in vitro. And I guess the day we got the phone call that it didn't work was a low point in our lives, for sure. But the high point came in the courtroom when the gavel came down and our then foster children became our adopted son and daughter.
Oh,
and that was, still is a blessing that's just nonstop, that keeps giving every day.
Well, those kids are yours, they're
They
your
are.
kids, and they're wonderful.
They are.
I mean, we saw them at the house the other day. They've grown so much from the
They
babies that I
have.
remember your wife carrying.
Yes, and I got to stay home with our daughter when she first came to us. She was 10 months, and it was the best year of my life. Not only because I could take a nap every day when she did,
Yes,
but just holding her. I mean, talk about knowing the presence of God. I mean, there's got to be something bigger with such a moment like that.
Yeah, I think it makes us all feel so wonderful when we tear away all the layers of the problems that everybody has, and we start to realize that life is truly simple.
Yes.
It's just being happy,
Yes.
being able to be happy. I have one more to add, and that's
Yeah.
to do something for others, because to me that has become my mantra, to be able to give help to, in my case, foster children, and being able to give help to patients in hospitals with our Make 'em Smile program. I find that giving back makes me feel so good about myself. And
Yes.
everybody needs that. Everybody needs to do that, and you do it, obviously, so well.
And true, and the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidic Judaism, taught, and Hasidic rabbis taught, we're closest to God when we're happy. And so, as you said, when you get that feeling back of giving of your time and your resources, you get back a great deal. And
It makes you feel really good.
God bless you for all the work you do.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I have to say that Sue and I always talk about we should be going to temple more, and yet I feel
You
close
should.
to it. I know.
That's because you should.
You see, that's Jewish guilt.
And he
That's
said
the
it right here on the
epitome.
camera. He's going to temple every week.
No, I didn't say every week.
Almost every week.
Almost every week. And of course, almost is a word that can be interpreted in many different ways, right? But it's a wonderful feeling that you get when you do go, whether it's
Thank you.
temple or church or whatever that
Yes.
you may,
Yeah.
whatever religion you go to. I can guarantee you that the minute you step into your religious house, you will find a peace coming over you, and that peace makes you feel very, very good about yourself.
Exactly.
I want to thank you so much for coming today,
that's great.
Ken, for sharing your Hanukkah with us and helping people understand the holiday a little bit better and realize that it's a holiday of giving. It's a holiday of having fun. It's a holiday of being with other people and playing games and gambling, because we did that. And I hope that many people will be able to understand that religions work together. They don't work apart. They're really important to be part of our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
You are
for
very
joining
welcome.
us.
I want to wish you and your beautiful family and everybody out there a Chag Urim Sameach, a happy and joyous festival of lights, and maybe a time of light for all of us, and very good, making more great memories.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Ken.
welcome.
I think that we had one of our best shows today, everybody, and it was obvious from the fun we had here that we all made a lot of money. We gambled on the air. Keith, I promised you that it's really not real money. It is chocolate-covered money. But it was just a fabulous time for all. I wish you all well. I wish you happy Hanukkah and happy holidays to everybody out there. My name is Seymour Kazirmirski. This is Seymour's World at ThinkTech Hawaii. Aloha.